Great desire works wonders in this section. You will learn the story of Ms. Schumann-Heink's incredible success in the singing field. At the beginning of her career, Ms. Schumann-Heink asked the director of the Vienna Opera to check her vocal abilities. But he did not agree to listen to it. Looking at the awkward, poorly dressed girl, he remarked, "How can you expect to succeed in the opera with such an appearance? Dear child, give it up. Buy yourself a sewing machine and start sewing. You will never be a singer." The director understood a lot about singing, but he didn't know anything about the power of desire when it becomes an obsession. If he had known about the existence of this irresistible force, he would not have denied the girl the opportunity to try her hand. A few years ago, one of my business partners fell ill. He was getting worse by the hour, and eventually he was taken to the hospital for surgery. The doctor warned me that the patient has very little chance of staying alive. That was the doctor's opinion, but not the patient's. Before they took him to the operating room, he whispered to me, "Don't worry, boss, I'll be out of here in a few days." The nurse standing next to me looked at me with compassion. However, he went through everything and survived. Subsequently, the attending physician said he was saved only by a great desire to live. He would never have made it out if he hadn't ruled out the possibility of death for himself. I believe in the power of desire, backed by faith, because I have seen this power manifest many times, and I have seen it give people who possess it power and money. I saw how this power gave my son the opportunity to be a normal, happy person, despite the fact that nature was cruel to him and allowed him to be born without ears. How do you acquire and use this power of desire? The answer to this question is given in this and subsequent chapters of the book. Nature has not yet revealed to us the secret of that unknown, but incredibly powerful principle of mental chemistry by which something that does not recognize the word impossible, denies and excludes failure, finds its manifestation in the impulse of great desire. Things to remember: when a passionate desire directs all your forces to win, you don't need any escape routes. Victory is predetermined. The 6 clear and well-defined principles listed in this book turn desire into gold. For Andrew Carnegie, these principles turned into $100 million. Longing for temporary defeats extracts the seed of future success. It was this desire that resurrected one of the largest supermarkets in the world from the ashes. A boy without ears has learned to hear. The girl who had no chance of success became a great opera singer. The patient, whose attending physician did not expect a successful outcome of treatment, joined the fight against death and won. Great desire is the force that has helped all these people to surpass themselves. Story: when you don't feel like it, that's exactly the time Maxim sat in the tram, staring out the foggy window. Rain tapped against the glass, as if even the weather was whispering, "Stay home. Postpone everything. You've got time." He was tired. Tired of the endless race, of goals he never reached, of promises to himself that always burned out by the second week. Today, he was supposed to go to the gym, the one he had bought a membership for starting Monday. It was already Thursday. What's the point? He mumbled to himself. It's not like anything will change. An older woman, around 60, sat down beside him. She pulled a notebook from her bag and started writing. Not a phone. Not a tablet. A notebook. Maxim glanced over without meaning to. At the top of the page, written in neat handwriting, was to-do list for the day. 7 o'clock, walk. 8 o'clock e-English, 9 o'clock e-meditation, 10 o'clock e-check emails. The list went on until evening. Each item had a little check mark next to it. Maxim couldn't help but smile a little. "Do you really do all of that?" he asked. The woman turned to him. Her eyes were bright and full of life. "Of course. Every day. It keeps me sharp and focused. Motivation comes when you see you're moving, even if it's just a millimeter forward. But what if you don't feel like it? If you don't feel like it, that's the sign. That's exactly the time. When you act despite the "I don't want to," something important happens inside you." The tram stopped. Maxim looked at the gym they passed every day. Then, suddenly, he stood up. "Thank you," he said to the woman. "I think he'll get off here." The doors closed behind him. The rain still fell, but it felt different now. Not an obstacle, but proof. He stepped out into the world, despite everything. Sometimes, motivation isn't a fire inside. It's a step into a puddle with heavy feet. But in that very step, strength is born.